You earn more than your parents, you have less saved. More income, more lifestyle, same zero. Americans save 4%. Chinese households save 46. Same planet, completely different financial outcome. The gap isn't luck, it's a system. 40 years of work, 3 years of retirement money. You're not broke, you're just spending in the wrong order. Lifestyle inflation kills more wealth than job loss. Every raise you got, where did it actually go? The raise felt good for 30 days, then it vanished. Savings rate beats salary. Every single time. Waiting 1 year at 25 costs $40,000 at 65. That year bought you a TV. It cost you a retirement. The BLS says the average American spends 93% of income. 7% left. After taxes, closer to 4. 4% saved for 40 years. Do the math. Most people retire on Social Security. Not by choice. SSA data. Average benefit is $1,500 a month. That gap between $1,500 and your bills is your problem. Nobody saves their way out of that gap by accident. The system exists. Most people just never look for it. Your salary isn't the variable. Your rate is. Change the rate, change the outcome. Completely. This is not motivation. This is arithmetic. Compound interest doesn't care about excuses. Every month you delay is a month that never compounds. Not later. The cost of later is enormous. High income, low savings rate, still broke at 60. Low income, high savings rate, on track at 60. The number that matters most isn't your salary. It's what you keep. Period. A 20% rate at $50,000 beats 5% at $200,000. This video shows you exactly how to close that gap. No tricks, no hacks, real math, real data. Federal Reserve confirms. Median retirement savings at 60 is $90,000. $90,000 lasts 3 years in retirement. Maybe 4. Then Social Security. Then hope. That's the plan most Americans have. Hope is not a financial strategy. The people who built wealth, they had a number. Always. Not a dream, a target savings rate. Written down, you need a rate, then a vehicle, then time. That's the entire system. 3 components. Nothing hidden. Most people have 2 of 3. They're missing the rate. By the end of this video, you'll have all 3. But the rate is just the beginning. What comes next is bigger. Most people think their problem is income. The real problem is the gap. Marcus earned $200,000 a year, drove a used Honda, rented a 2-bedroom. His coworker earned the same, leased a BMW, bought a house at the limit. 15 years later, Marcus retired. Derek is still at the same desk. Same salary. Same start date. The gap. One savings rate decision. You think the problem is not earning enough. That is the wrong diagnosis. The real diagnosis. Your spending grows exactly as fast as your income. Lifestyle creep is silent. It doesn't feel like a decision. But every invisible upgrade costs you years of compound growth. A $200 monthly upgrade costs over a $100,000 in compound opportunity. Zero-based budgeting fixes this. Every dollar gets a job before you spend it. The goal of zero-based budgeting is not to end with zero cash. It means 0 unassigned dollars. I want you to follow 2 people through this video. Marcus and Derek. Same salary, different outcomes. Both earn $90,000. Both started investing at 30. Only one wins. Marcus saves 20%. Derek saves 5%. Spot the future now. Most people spend first, save what's left. That order is backwards. Pay yourself first. Automate it. Then live on what remains. Fidelity data. People who automate savings save 42% more annually. Automation removes the decision. Removing decisions removes failure. Willpower depletes. Systems don't. Build the system, not the discipline. Now the vehicle. Where does the saved money actually go? A savings account gives you 4%. Inflation eats 3.8 of it. Cash savings, net of inflation, return almost nothing over 30 years. VOO S&P 500 Index Fund. Average annual return 10.3% since inception. $10,000 in VOO in 1993 is over $200,000 today. You didn't need to pick the right stock. You just needed to show up. VTI gives you the entire U.S. market. Over 3,600 companies in one fund. Morningstar ranks VTI 5 stars for consistent long-term risk-adjusted performance. SCHD adds dividend income, real cash flow while you wait for growth. 3 ETFs, VOO, VTI, SCHD. That is a complete long-term wealth portfolio. Not because they're complicated, because they're simple and it works. Derek spent 8 years stock picking. He underperformed VOO every single year. 82% of active fund managers underperform index funds over 10 years. You think you'll be in the 18%, so does everyone else who isn't. But here's what most people haven't seen yet, and it breaks everything wide open. The fee. The one number every investor ignores, and it is costing them everything. A 1% annual fee on $200,000 over 30 years costs $170,000. That money was never lost. It was transferred. From your account to theirs. VOO expense ratio, 0.03%. A typical managed fund, 1.2%. You think fees are a small thing. Over 30 years, they are the biggest thing in your portfolio. Morningstar study. Low-cost funds outperform high-cost funds 90% of the time. If your savings rate is under 15%, stop and listen right now. Every year you stay below 15%, costs you compounding years you cannot buy back. Marcus kept his savings rate at 20% regardless of his income changes. When his salary grew, his lifestyle didn't. His investment account did. Now here's the insight that rewrites everything you know about risk. You think the stock market is risky. Historically, not investing is the riskiest thing you can do. Vanguard research. A 60-40 portfolio lost money in only 7 of the last 95 years. 7 out of 95. Yet most people sit on cash their entire working life. The real risk isn't the market dip. It's the 40 years of growth you never captured. Staying out of the market for 20 years costs you more than any crash in history. If your current savings rate is under 15%, this is exactly what that costs you per decade. Decade 1, roughly $40,000 in lost opportunity. Decade 2, $110,000. Decade 3, the compound snowball hits. You're looking at $300,000 plus. That is not hypothetical. That is Vanguard compound calculator data at 10% annual return. Here is the best insight in this entire video, and almost nobody acts on it. Increasing your savings rate by just 1% per year is worth more than doubling your salary. 1% more saved this year, another percent next year. 10 years later, a completely different life. If you've watched this far, subscribe. The rest of this video is worth $10,000 to act on. Most people give themselves one reason to save more. Successful savers give themselves a system. The system is the compound engine. Motivation is just the spark to start it. You think diversification means owning more things. It means owning less of the wrong things. Complexity creates cost. Simplicity creates returns. Every Vanguard study confirms this. Derek's portfolio had 43 positions. His net return over 10 years, 4.1%. VOO's return over the same decade, 11.3%. The gap is a second retirement fund. Now let's build the complete system. Step by step. Real numbers. No shortcuts skipped. Step 1. Calculate your current savings rate. Income minus all spending divided by income. If you don't know your rate today, you cannot improve it tomorrow. Calculate it now. The BLS Consumer Expenditure Survey. The average household spends 19% on housing alone, 14% on transportation, 9% on food away from home. The leaks are everywhere. Every dollar leaked from those categories is a dollar that never compounds. Ever. Step 2. Apply zero-based budgeting. Give every dollar a destination before the month starts. Sample budget, 4,000 income, 800 to savings first, then allocate the rest. This is the parable of the leaking roof. Marcus noticed one small leak. Derek ignored 12. Marcus fixed one subscription, one dining habit, one recurring fee. Saved $180 more per month. $180 per month. Into VOO for 20 years at 10%, $137,000 from 3 small cuts. 3 line items. That is the engine metaphor in action. Step 3. Open the vehicle. Roth IRA first. Annual contribution limit in 2024, $7,000. Roth IRA growth is tax-free. At 60, every dollar you withdraw costs you nothing in taxes. If you earn under $146,000, you qualify. IRS rules 2024. Most people leave this benefit untouched for years. That is a guaranteed tax bill they chose to pay. After Roth IRA, use your employer 401k up to the match. That is a 100% return on day one. Not using your employer match is the single most expensive financial mistake you can make. Vanguard data. Employees who skip the match leave an average of $1,300 per year on the table. Over 30 years, that $1,300 per year compounds to over $120,000. Derek never maxed his employer match. He thought he couldn't afford to contribute the full amount. He couldn't afford not to. That is the reversal almost no one sees until it's too late. Step 4. Invest inside your Roth IRA. Choose VOO or VTI. Set it to auto-invest monthly. Do not check it every day. Checking daily increases emotional selling by 67%. Vanguard calls it return gap. Frequent traders underperform buy and hold by 1.5% annually. 1.5% per year over 30 years. Another $140,000 gone from your account. Every financial decision you make has a 30-year shadow. Most people see the monthly payment, not the shadow. The car payment trap. Average U.S. car payment, $735 per month as of 2024. $735 per month invested in VOO over 5 years at 10% is over $56,000. Marcus drives a paid-off 12-year-old car. That difference alone funds most of his retirement. Stealth wealth is not about looking poor. It is about knowing what your money is actually doing. The person who looks wealthy often isn't. The person who doesn't often is. Stealth wealth is the investment identity. Build the account, not the image. Step 5. Review quarterly. Not daily, not monthly, quarterly. Rebalance once per year. Annual rebalancing prevents drift. A drifted portfolio can add 1% extra risk without you noticing. Warning star. Investors who rebalance annually outperform those who don't by 0.4% per year. 0.4% sounds tiny. Over 30 years at $200,000, it is over $60,000. Everything in this video is a multiplier. Every ignored step costs you a specific number. Add them up. Missing the full system costs the average person over $500,000 in lifetime wealth. $500,000 is not a rounding error. That is your retirement gap, your options, your freedom. But the system is not just about retirement. It is about the decade before retirement. That is where freedom lives. At a 20% savings rate in VOO, starting at 30 with $50,000 salary, you reach financial independence by 52. Marcus is now 51.